years, the one that got faster than no other one, to 1 million subscribers, guys. And that's our CEO, Patrick Bet-David.
Okay, do I use this? Can I take a guess? It's wireless. Yes, okay, awesome. How are you? How you doing? Okay, grab seats. My gosh, Gaetan got emotional. You realize I've seen Gaetan cry maybe 5 times. This was the 5th time. When he cries, there's a reason behind it. You know how some kids, they always cry, you never know which cry is real? I had a conversation the other day with Dylan. I'm like, Dylan, you can't cry all the time. You know why? I said, why? I said, you have to value crying. I think that was it. Okay, you dropped the mic. We heard you, by the way, just so you know. I said, you have to value crying. He said, what do you mean, Daddy? I said, it's very special to cry. It's okay to cry. But if you always cry, no one knows if it's really pain you're going through. So be selective on the things you cry for. So this time he was crying. I said, is this a real reason to cry? No. I said, then say you're crying. Gaetan saves his cries. Makes sense? He's only cried 5 times in 13 years that I've seen. And each one of them when he cried was a real reason when that took place. Guys, so let's make some noise for Jose for a phenomenal job he's done with this event. Really proud of him. Anyways, I'm talking to Bea in the back. How many guys love Bea? Who loves Bea, by the way? Let me tell you what I told her before you freak out. I told her, just so you know, you can never work in Dallas, Texas, so don't get the idea of applying for a job over there. So I'm not trying to take Bea away from you. But because I said Conquistadors, you need to stick around here and work at the organization here. But Bea, if you didn't know, she, in high school, did cross country, volleyball, basketball, every sport, every semester she played, and she had a 4.65 GPA. She was valedictorian. Did anybody notice? Bea had a 4.65 GPA. Make some noise for Bea in the back. Anyways, all right. Let me get into my message. Okay, so Ricky, the number you were wondering is 154. That's how much Rodolfo says he had butts and seats at the event in San Antonio, 154. Ricky, if you're in the back, text me. Let me know you heard me say that. Okay, everybody's been asking me about big events and all this stuff. Okay, let me get into the message here. All right. So I got a few points here that I want to talk to you about, and then we'll wrap it up, and I'll give you a couple things. I'll give you a couple things about big event mindset, and you guys can take off. Obviously, you had a very good event, your breakout. I can't wait for your own breakouts, by the way, because at the breakout, your guy's going to be launching some announcements to you, just so you know. Like that's really the most important part of the meeting here, is all your SVPs that have prepared their own breakouts. And then after that, it's the small individual breakouts that may take place with your SMDs, your EMDs, or your MDs, because they're going to be talking about what's going on, leaving this place, and then obviously from there it's action, leaving. This is Friday. Most of you guys don't have to fly to any other places except you're from South Dakota, or if you came from some of these other cities that you flew in. Most of you guys are driving back to your offices, okay, your homes. So you got BOM tomorrow, emergency meeting, phone zone, all of this stuff you can be doing, which is a great place to be in. But look, there's a couple things I want you to be thinking about. Last night, we finished the SVP meeting we had in the back, and phenomenal meeting that we had all these strategies we were talking about. We finished, I walk out, I think Chris and Mary Phelps strategically said, let's sit over here. I haven't told Pat he's going to speak to us because I don't think he wants to speak to us. But if we sit over here, we're going to get him. And then Mary goes like this. Okay, guys, here's Pat. Pat, can you say a couple words for 2 minutes, please? Okay. So then I speak to Mary, okay? And everybody knows I love Mary. So I'm like, okay, I'll give the message. And we had a 6:30 this morning with Dino Joan Cornerstone. We had a great time with the people in Cornerstone. Phenomenal time. in Cornerstone. But I told Phelps something that I think everybody needs to be thinking about here today. I said, guys, listen, here's the one thing about Team USA. You guys know how to make money. If you work with Team USA, you're going to get your ring. It's just kind of what it is. It's your ring. George introduced me, wait a minute. You're not going to clap in a minute. So, believe me, when I'm talking, it's not very safe to clap all the time. It's not very safe to clap all the time. It's like stuff that happen afterwards. Okay? So, George introduces me to a girl. Okay? She may still be at the event. If you are, I'm talking to you. You know who you are, Credit Repair Girl. Charlotte. And, you know, she's making 120. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, this is a sharp woman here, single mother, makes 120 in credit repair. She thinks 120 is a lot of money. Because she probably makes more money than her brother, or her sister, or her siblings, or her cousins, or her friends, or the people she graduated high school with, or maybe mom or dad's a tourist like, I'm making 120. Doing good? Probably drives an E-Series BMW or a 5 Series BMW or a Lexus. I don't know what she drives. $600 payment a month, $800 payment a month. Maybe has a nice SUV like a Range Rover East, Sport, whatever it is, $780 a month. And she thinks she's doing good. Maybe she's got some nice clothes and she's doing all right. You know, the crazy thing about here in this room for a lot of you guys, 90% of this room talks big. 90% talks big. 9% thinks big. 1% believes big. It's a big difference. Let me explain the three. 90% of the world talks big. Oh, watch what I'm going to be doing. Last night I called out one of the MDs in Phelps' organization. He felt like, it was like jolted because he came out of nowhere. You know how you get a sucker punch and you didn't know what's coming? He got a sucker punch last night. He knows who he is. If you were part of the meeting, all the other people I looked up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was waiting for somebody to say that. I am so glad you said it, Pat, because I've been meaning to say it for a while. That's the reaction everybody had. Like, man, you talk so much. You always talk. I'm so sick of you just talking. You don't have your watch. You don't work. You BS. You act like you're bigger than you really are. You're full of it. You talk big. How's that worked out for you? Huh? Do you even think big? Then some of the people are like, wow, I think big. Yeah, really? Okay. And then if you believe big, what's the difference? I talked big for a long time. My dad's sitting all the way in the back right there. He knows it. My dad was like, Dad, you always talk. Dad, one day, he says, one day, okay, you slept in today one day. Talk. I'm like, dude, I'm sleeping because I partied till 4 o'clock. What do you want me to do? Yeah, okay, whatever. Talk. Right? And then I started thinking big. And in the moment I started believing big, it's game over. Because I figured out the formula. The challenge with this room is we don't really know who thinks the biggest and who believes the biggest. And we're not going to know for quite some time. Some of you guys make 100, you think you've made it. Some of you guys hit MD and you get your watch, you think you've made it. Look how many of you guys, you know how I know MDs are small thinkers? What you do 30 days after you become an MD. I know you're a small thinker 30 days after you become an MD. Because you hit MD and you have a flat month the next month. You thought you made it. You're a small thinker. But man, I hit MD. I get it, but you're still a small thinker. Some of you hit your ring and in the next 3 months your income drops. Why? Oh, you thought you made it. Because you made $100,000. Some of you guys make $36,000 a month. You're about to hit $250,000. 90 days drop. Why? Because to you, $36,000 is a lot of money. You know who you are. I had fun with you on the gala. Louis, you think it's a lot of money. You make $62,000 flat. You think that's a lot of money. You make $82,000 flat. You think it's a lot of money. You think it's a lot of money. So we don't really know who the biggest thinkers are. So now what's the difference, Pat? I don't really get it. Those who think big and believe big, they're not slowing down just because they hit a mark or they beat somebody. Let me say this one more time. Just because I beat you in something, I'm not slowing down. March Madness ends, I won, I'm not slowing down. I hit a promotion and I make 68 grand, I'm not slowing down. That's why Vargases are who they are. That's why everybody's talking Vargases right now. Let me put it to you this way. You guys are about to do registrations tonight. Here's the numbers if you really want to know it. I don't really know if you guys are the craziest competitors in the company at this point right now. Let me give you some numbers. Don't get upset at me. These are your numbers. Ready? And maybe you may shock everybody tonight. The number one big shop in PHP registration for the August event has 402 registrations. Not Hierarchy. Base shop. Do you know whose record they beat? Not yours. Their own record for the third time. They're not competing against you. They're not saying, oh, as long as we're beating everybody, we're good. No, they're not trying to beat you and then slow down. They're like, no one thinks and believes as big as we do, Pat. It's the difference. So everybody on their team starts thinking the same way. Look at the number 2 big shop. Ready? 277 registrations. Sapalas. I wonder if anybody's going to have over 277 in this room today, tonight. Number 3, Del Valle, 214 registrations. You know why? Because the pace setter is 402, and every time I send the text messages, everybody got uncomfortable because they were chasing who? Vargas's. So Del Valle to 214 because they kept seeing where Vargas's were going. Number 4, you ready who number 4 is? Renee and Dalila Reyes, 150. You know who number 5 is? Graziani, 129. Graziani used to be number 1 in this category. Not anymore. Vera, 123. Marroquin, 100. You know, 4 out of the top 7 base shop registration are on Vargas's team. They think big and they believe big. Watch this. Registration net SVP. Candy Thomas, 128. Lane Cooper, 231. Not including anything you guys have done here yet. So we're going to see where Len is going to be at with their net SVP. Del Valle, 299. Graziani, 692. Net SVP. Net SVP, 692. Vargas, 1152. Shing and Matt, 1179. 1179. So, Pat, are you here to talk about Vargas and so we get upset and we leave and all this other stuff? No. This is a conversation I'm having with you. Do you talk big? Do you think big? Or do you believe big? Do you beat somebody and slow down? Do you hit a marker and slow down? What is it? Do you hit an income level and you slow down? What is it? That's a perfect sign of realizing who you really are. Can you imagine if I stopped because I hit a marker? What if I stopped? 15 quarters in a row. The guy that flew in from New York, last minute, he flew in from New York because they're like, dude, everybody's interested in PHP. He flies in from New York. He comes to my suite last night. We had like 8-minute conversation together. When he came to Dallas last week to visit us, he says, Pat, no one's doing 15 quarters in a row beating progress and policy count. People are beating year after year after year, but not policy count. Now watch this. Look at this here. Everybody, leaders, pay very close attention. For those 15 quarters, do you think every net SVP beat their prior best in 15 consecutive quarters? Let me ask you one more time. I'm asking you one more time. Think about the question. SMDs, I want you to be thinking about this question. MDs, I want you to be thinking about this question here. How many of our SVPs, net SVPs, you think beat their quarter to quarter to quarter to quarter to quarter? How many? Do you think during those 15 quarters, some SVPs had a bad quarter? Do you think during those 15 quarters, some SVPs were casual on a quarter? Do you think those 15 quarters, some people slowed down a little bit? Or there was a conflict or an issue, personal life health? Do you think some of you guys were having some of those issues or some of the MDs? But why did the company grow? Why did the company grow? Because I'm not just waking up in the morning relying on one person. I'm not waking up in the morning relying on one leg. I'm not waking up in the morning relying on all of our leaders to be perfectly, hey, let's all stay focused for 15 quarters. You know how long is 15 quarters? 3 years and 9 months. You know how Gaines got up that whole lineup of speakers? Okay, that group. By the way, whoever picked that lineup of speakers, phenomenal job. Watch this. Leland Sebastian Vargas, Paul Medrano, I'm going to see if I remember all of them. Terrace, Gaines, boom, boom, boom. Hang on, don't say it. Terrace, Gaines, Leland Sebastian Vargas, Paul Medrano, and then who else was it? Who's that? Pimbers. Watch this. No, this is not about thank you. By the way, stop acting like a victim. Louis, at the end, you don't need to say they don't believe in us because of 2018. You don't need to talk that language. It's not a nice language. It's not attractive. You guys got to stop that. It's not helping you. It's not attractive to act like victims. You are not, you're killers. You are here to make a multi-million-dollar year income. That language has got to change. Thank you is a victim comment. Like even at the end when Louis like, I guess they're turning on the music because of this. No, because you went overtime and they have to stay on schedule. So you don't need to make those comments. This is to everybody here. Some of you guys do it in your offices to your MDs. Some of you guys do this stuff in your meeting after the meetings to your guys. It's not necessary. But let me make that point to you. Watch this. Parmigiano, Pimbers, Terrace, Gaines, and then I missed another one here. Terrace, Gaines, who's the other one? Leila Sebastian. Watch this. You know what they all have in common? Are they all talented? Every one of them. Are they all capable? Every one of them. Are they big thinkers? I'm sorry? How do you know? Numbers say no. Numbers say every time they hit a marker, something slows down. Why? Do they rely on one person too much? Is this a tough conversation in front of all your teammates? Is this too tough for you? I do it on update videos every time. If you can't handle this, how the hell do you think these guys became chairman's councils? You don't think I called them out? You don't think they got off a video on a freaking screw pad? Every one of them makes a minimum wage of $500,000 a year income. Every one of them. Every time I see George, he looks richer. George's eyebrows is the perfect, I've ever seen his eyebrows. I don't even know what it looks like. I'm like, whoever did his eyebrows straight out of Hollywood was perfection. Mario, we were debating who's the best looking person in the company. Male, and a lot of names came up. We had a 40 and over because we have to start doing that. It's like 40 and over club, 30 and over 20. Bar said, Pat, I think George is on the list, Pat. I said, no, I know he is, but I think Alejandro's also on the list of Paulo. And we started going through it in the kind of ways we, instead of twiddling our thumbs, we're talking about who's the hottest. By the way, this is a very dangerous group here. Last night, the amount of women came and talked to me. I'm like, do you guys just hire models here? Like, what the hell is going on here? Whatever they're breeding in these big events, the guys, I was telling a guy, one of the guys came in a blue suit and orange hair. Are you still in the room or no? Where's the orange hair guy? Where is this guy? Is he here? Where are you? That's the orange hair guy. Grab a seat. Thank you. Okay? By the way, that compliment doesn't make you money, but I just remember our conversations just so you realize it. He comes up and says, I said, is that your hair? You put peroxide. He said, that's my real. I said, no, because I used to have to put peroxide before my hair to be, and I would go under the sun, and then 24 hours later it was orange. It's kind of cool. So we would buy, anybody did the peroxide stuff or no? Some of you guys are also weird. There you go. If you use peroxide, you're probably 30 plus years old, okay? It has to be something like that, because it's not a new thing, you know? If you use that gimmick strap, by the way, my first BOM ever, my hair was orange. My first BOM ever, I came in a pajama workout pants and with a tank top. That's it. It's my first BOM. That was me as a guest. What would you think of me with orange hair? Just came out of a workout. I was at the gym. I was all pumped up at that time. It's my first BOM. Listen, all these look stuff I'm telling you. Moral of the story: we don't know if these guys are big thinkers. We don't know. All this, small thinking stuff's got to go. Everyone's starting to realize it. Everyone's starting to realize it. So, leaving this event, what's going to happen? I have no clue. I don't have any idea what's going to happen. You know, the point I was making to you is how many quarters in a row did we write more policies than prior quarter? How many? 15. Guess what's going to happen this month, this quarter? Do you know how many policies we wrote last January? How many policies do you think we wrote last January? 1,700. You know how many we wrote this January? 3,500. Last January, we wrote 71 annuities. You know how many we wrote this January? 122 annuities. January's a very slow month. Last January, we recruited 1977 recruits. This January, we recruited 3891. Companies growing. Are you growing? Terrace, are you growing quarter to quarter to quarter? Pimper, are you growing quarter to quarter to quarter? Are you growing, Felt, quarter to quarter to quarter? Are you? Why not? When Gaines said something, it stays with me, and I want you guys to stop thinking this way. Gaines said, this business has ups, it has downs, but I can tell you one thing, motivational, great, fine, good message, I like it, I agree, I've been down as well. Not telling you there's a down. I'm not sitting here telling you there's not going to be downs. But here's what I can tell you. The best story I ever heard about business was a company called Danaher. Here's Danaher, who's the first CEO ever who got a salary of $100 million. Okay, how many guys have a job and you have a salary? Well, how many guys got a job and you got a salary? You know what salary is, right? What salary? Doesn't include bonuses. How much was his salary? not net worth, its salary is $100 million. Do you know why he got a $100 million salary? Because for 25 straight years, every year the company grew by 25%. Let me say that one more time. 25 straight years, the company grew by 25%. I'm with this guy at Harvard, he's speaking. He's the guy that they think is gonna replace, he's one of the 3 names in the world that they say is gonna replace Berkshire Hathaway's who? Warren Buffett when he dies. He's that freaking good, and he's only in his 50s. So they're looking at him as a lineman. What's the moral of the story? This whole thing about up, down, up, down, up, down is only normal because you think it's normal. It's not supposed to be that way. You can grow it if you create the right habits. What's Amazon worth today? Trillion. What's Microsoft worth today? What are these companies worth today? Why do they continuously grow? Because they put certain strategies, philosophies, and a leader that grows the business. So all of you in here, every quarter you ought to be growing this year. And beat the crowd, quarter, beat, every single time. I know this is not the most exciting topic I'm giving you, but there's 2 different kind of topics I can give you right now. I used to get up here and try to motivate everybody, and people would walk away and say, Pat, that was the best motivational speech you ever gave. I'm like, man, you really liked it? Yeah. Dude, I was sick. I'm like, everybody's staying at the same level. I said, listen, man, I can motivate you, but my outcome of a talk today to a group is to shift your mindset. Because all I have to do is shift the mindset of 5% of the room. I don't need any motivation. 80% of speakers are gonna do it for you. 5% mindset shifts, you're gonna make millions. Everything changes. I wanna shift your mindset, is what I wanna do when you leave this place. Number 2, write this down. 2 different types of people in this room. Those who are part of the Me Too movement, and not Bill Cosby Me Too. Those who are part of the Me Too movement, and those who are part of the First Two movement. Let me explain to you. The Me Too is the following. Anybody knows who John Landy is? Silence. Does anybody know who John Landy is? Do you know who he is? Who? Was he in the second guy in the moon? He was the second guy for something, but not the moon. Does anybody know who John Landy is? He's the second guy that broke the 4-minute mile. Who knows who Roger Bannister is? He's the first guy that broke the 4-minute mile. And by the way, John Landy ran it way faster than Bannister. You don't remember his name. You know why? Because he's part of the Me Too movement. Bannister's part of the First Two movement. Big difference. Me Too is, yeah, me too. You know, I got a college degree. My dad got a college degree. Me too. Whatever. Yeah, my dad got an MBA. Me too. Yeah, my dad makes 6 figures. Me too. You know, it's me too. Yeah, so I make 50,000. Me too. I recruited 25 in a month. Yeah, me too. No one cares. Me too is like, okay, cool. No big deal about Me Too. Watch this. Let me explain to you. When it comes down to First Two and Me Too, there's 2 things in life that are First Two and Me Too. One of the Me Too is family. The other Me Too is what? Business. So watch this question here. How many of you in here are a first to do something in your family? Put your hand up. I'm about to call on you. How many of you guys are the first to do something in your family? Never been done before. Okay? Ready? Let's call on somebody. Alonzo, what are you the first to do? You're the first to start a business? It's got to be bigger than that. I'm sure somebody started a business. What are you the first to do? Palayo, what are you the first to do? First to make $500,000. That's the first 2. By the way, every single one of his relatives, cousins, nephews, nieces are going to grow up saying, one day I want to be like who? George Palayo, because he's the first to do it. What else are you the first to do? Anybody else? What are you the first to do, Erica? She's the first to make 100. No one in your family's made 250 in a year. Never made. She's the first to make $250,000. Everybody in her family looks at her as a hero because she's the first to do it. Not a Me Too, is a first to. What else are you first to do? Yes. What's that? You made $300,000 in a year, and you're the first to ever do it. She's the first to ever do it. Yes.